Looking for Devin? He's in the shower. In the shower. Those 3 words stabbed my chest like 1,000 poisoned needles. Nonetheless, my voice stayed calm, almost unnaturally so. No need, thank you. Before she could say anything else, I hung up. The screen went dark, reflecting my pale face. Less than 2 minutes later, my phone buzzed violently again. I stared at Devin's name on the screen for several seconds before answering. Did you need something? His tone was businesslike, cold and detached. Just last night, this same man had been on top of me, whispering my name intimately over and over again. My fingers whitened around the resignation letter. Mr. Woodford, there's a document that needs your signature before the process can go through. He gave a low hum of acknowledgement, then added, almost as an afterthought, oh, right, stop by later and pack up the rest of your stuff. She's moving in. The apartment in the western suburbs is empty. You can stay there. I promised Marvin I'd take care of you. 4 years ago, he pulled me into his bed while drunk, tossing me the charity of being his bedmate. 4 years later, under the excuse of loyalty to his best friend, he was offering me a place to live. His carefully considerate gestures were so absurd, they almost made me laugh. That won't be necessary, Mr. Woodford, I said, forcing a smile. I'm an adult. I can take care of myself. Once he signed the resignation form and I finished my last handover, the ridiculous 4 years between us would finally come to an end. Me? I was getting married. I opened my eyes in the hotel room as morning light streamed in. For the first time in years, I felt more awake than in any morning I had spent by Devin's side. I called a car and returned to the villa I'd lived in for 4 years. However, the moment I stepped inside, I almost thought I had walked into the wrong house. The once minimalist black and gray space was instead drenched in warm tones. The entryway wall, where I had begged him for a month to let me hang even a single plush toy, had been transformed into a display filled with stuffed animals. Melissa likes it this way. Devin's voice sounded from behind me. When I turned, he looked slightly troubled. She came by yesterday, saw your things and got upset. It was not until he led me to the storage room that I understood what he meant. In the corner, all my luggage was piled up like garbage. It was a chaotic mess of things that once held meaning. The diamond necklace Devin had given me was crushed beyond recognition, and the pair of mugs we made together were shattered into pieces. He sighed softly. None of this is worth much anyway. Just throw it out. If you need something, I'll buy you new ones. Not worth much? My gaze fell on a small, colorful glass jar among the wreckage. The lid had broken open, revealing the folded paper stars inside. There were 1,001 of them, each one I had made back when I secretly loved him, each carrying a bit of affection I never dared to speak aloud. I picked up the cracked jar, then tossed it along with the other broken gifts into the trash bin nearby. Devin's brows furrowed instantly, but I just smiled faintly. You're right, Mr. Woodford. Things that aren't worth anything should be thrown away when they're dirty or broken. That included my foolish, misplaced feelings. Ignoring the sudden darkness that crossed his face, I lowered my head and pulled out the resignation letter from my bag. Mr. Woodford, this is my... Before I could finish, his phone rang. Melissa Nicholson's voice came through clearly in the quiet storage room. Dev, it's raining. Come pick me up. The emotions on his face vanished in an instant. He did not even glance at the document in my hand and signed his name at the bottom. Take a taxi home. Text me when you get there. By the time Devin drove off, the rain became a downpour. The villa sat halfway up the mountain, so there was no way to hail a taxi. So I opened my umbrella and started walking downhill against the wind. Suddenly I slipped. Pain shot through my knees and elbows as I hit the ground hard. Ignoring the sting, I clutched my bag tightly. It held my resignation letter. If that got wet, I would have to see him again, and I did not want that. Just then, a familiar black luxury car came speeding from afar. It did not slow down as it passed. Water splashed all over me, soaking me completely. Through the passenger side window, I caught a glimpse. It was Melissa, perfectly made up, sitting beside Devin, who smiled at her tenderly. My jaw clenched. Pressing my palm to the cold, wet ground, I forced myself to stand. Pain seared through my knees.